Secret friends, unite! Welcome, everyone, to the Secret Friends Unite podcast. I am taking over for at least this episode, and hopefully I don't screw up too much, as your show moderator. Welcome, as always. Good to see you. My name is Charlie Carden, longtime geek who you've been listening to for 110 episodes. Joined, as always, by my hetero life mate, my number one best dude, who you've been listening to with me to load these 110 episodes, Todd Oxtra.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Nerdland USA.
My goodness, flippity flop! I'm running the stick. I might only do this for the intro. I might get too nervous. We're trying a little show format change up for some potential for something potentially big on the horizon, which might not end up being anything. So I'm not going to talk about it. But anyway, I thought I'd try my hand at it. So, Todd, how are you doing this week?
Doing great. Spring. Weather's getting good. Having fun. Had my birthday. Now I got to figure out what I'm going to buy with my birthday money. So I'm looking at some potentially maybe a Masterpiece KO Soundwave.
Ooh, yeah. That would be pretty neat. All right, well, hopefully that comes fast. Well, without further ado, what we always do on the show is we have a little bit of fun talking about the rumors and news with Madame Webb, our correspondent. Then we slide on over to the Geek Easy, listen to some yacht rock, debatable about who's considered yacht rock, but we usually figure something out over in the Geekies to talk about what we're geeking out about this week. And then this week we're going to go back to one of the old steady eddies, playing a little bit of 20 questions, trying to stump each other in the world of nerd, a little bit of a themed top 20. So, without further ado, Madame Webb, take it away.
Now it's time for Madame Webb's rumors and news. Take it away, boys.
Thank you, Madame Webb. We got your summer movie picks from the last episode, and apparently you think Gone with the Wind is going to take it this year. We will gladly take your money, though, Madame Webb. Thank you, even though it's in Confederate dollars.
Right, exactly. Yeah, those Confederate coins, the South shall not rise again. Yeah, sorry, guys.
She will never tell us how she made that money, but something tells me there's a lot of little junior and junioresses, Madame Webbs, hanging around.
Oh my God, hanging around literally by a web.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so we got some TV news up first. Todd, what is going on?
Okay, in TV we have an example of once bitten, twice shy, but hopefully first you don't succeed, try again, which would be Lock and Key is getting another pilot offer. So for you, those of you who may not be familiar with Lock and Key is a comic book series by IDW that was written by Stephen King's son, Joe Hill, and I loved it. I really enjoy it. It's kind of the premise is very familiar. A family moves into a house that has secrets, and basically the family is dealing with personal tragedy along with this new call it challenge of supernatural origins that they have to deal with as a family. Absolutely love it. It's really a fresh take, I think, on the haunted house premise. And they did back in the day, they did a pilot, but it was never released, Charlie. It was shown at a comic convention. Maybe it was San Diego Comic Convention, Comic-Con, but they never released it. So it's never been shown. It's kind of like, when you go to the comic book conventions and they have like the table of like bootleg DVDs somebody got. Yeah.
That's how I had my Batman 66 before it was released commercially.
Yeah, this one though, it's like all of those pirating folks that provide a service have never been able to secure this pilot before. I don't know why. It's so bizarre. Maybe people just didn't have their phones on when they were doing it. I mean, it was probably like 2012. So even then, I mean, cell phones were pretty good. But yeah, it's never been released, and people said it was pretty good. But this is this time though, this is kind of exciting because the people they have involved. This is going to be on Hulu, so the more likely this would get released because Hulu and Netflix, they don't have a high bar for what gets through, except for quality. They don't have to worry about ratings or anything like that because they have subscribers. And this time, though, it's kind of neat because Scott Derrickson is going to be doing the pilot. Scott Derrickson's going to direct the pilot, and Joe Hill's actually scripting the first episode. Scott Derrickson, you know him from directing Doctor Strange. So some good talent here from the writing side and directing side. So I think this is going to be really cool. I'm really excited about it, and if it comes out, I think this could be kind of like an American Horror Story type of series, but a little bit more focused on one storyline versus every season it's something different. So I'm excited for this.
Well, and it looks like, and this is not really a storied past, ran 40 issues, which is about average for a comic book series. So much stuff stops and starts and what have you, and over a 5-year period. So I guess that's really not that bad because it was consistent.
Yeah.
So it's not like it ran 40 issues over the last 25 years. I mean, that would be like, who cares? I'm not super familiar with it other than what you've told me. The pilot shown at a comic convention reminds me of the Wonder Woman show with.
Oh yeah.
What was her name?
Adrienne Palicki.
Adrian, I couldn't remember her first name. Has kind of shades of that. April is a massive Stephen King fan. She probably has a lot more familiarity with Lock and Key than I would. Now, was this created just as a comic series, or it was a book first?
No, it was a graphic novel only. They did story arcs, so they had a beginning and an end created. So that's why it only went 40, and they had some one shots.
Gotcha. Okay. So, I mean, that begs the question, if this is a breakout hit, what do they do when they run out of material? They're going to create their own new arc? Is this just going to be a retelling of what's already been done, or does it have the flavor, just the flavor of the series, and it's going to tell original stories? I mean, either way, I'm sure it could be pretty exciting.
Yeah, I mean, they could do both, but they could take each arc as a season, and they'd have probably 5 arcs ready to go, which is more than enough. I mean, how many series actually last more than 5 these days? Right.
Very, very true. So anyway, this will be neat. I mean, obviously with April's interest, I'll be watching. So we will be seeing this. I'd already closed the story. Does it say we're getting this in the fall or maybe next spring?
They just ordered a pilot. So
okay.
Beyond that, I don't know what that process is, specifically at like a Hulu. Typically, pilots for the networks, they get a pilot and then they either sit on it or they rush it to the next season. Right.
Okay. Well, cool. Well, I will look forward to that.
Yeah. And we go to comics next, Charlie. And this story is in your wheelhouse because it's all Marvel all the time.
Marvel. Well, Marvel is, they're getting a bad rap. And what's interesting is that this tends to kind of fly in the face of something else Marvel said recently, is that they're taking a step back. We're just getting into Secret Empire, which a 0 issue published this week, which is on its way to me. So, but I'll talk about that in a minute. This is another event called Generations. That is going to drop. My computer is scrolling very slowly. Oh, it scrolled slowly and then it jumped to the end. This is a 10-issue event that they are going to start publishing. When are they going to start publishing it? I guess I really ought to read a little bit more in advance. This is upcoming, and it looks like it's going to be publishing in arcs. Marvel is going to be taking. Todd, go ahead.
It arrives in August, Charlie.
Thank you very much. I'm looking at this is a very...
It's at the very ending.
Oh, yeah, great, yeah. Way to bury the lead. Thanks a lot. But that means it's really going to fall on the heels of the end of Secret Empire, which is, again, it's a 0 issue. First new issue is going to kick off with Free Comic Book Day at the beginning of next month, and then they're bi-weekly through the end of their 9-issue run. So this is going to drop after that, and basically we're getting a string of tales and this beautiful illustration by Alex Ross. Todd, good news, it doesn't look like any new costumes were created for this picture, because I know that it's your Achilles heel. You're not much of even if you appreciate Alex Ross's work, which most people do, I know you're not a fan of his original creations.
No.
As far as costuming. So, but this is a great picture. Top to bottom, we have younger and older versions of the same character. Older character, newer version of each character. So we're seeing, Phoenix. We're getting Wolverine, Thor, Captain America, Nova, Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, which is actually two of the same. It's kind of a weird crossover.
Yeah.
Hawkeye. You've got Iron Heart and Iron Man. Miles Morales and Peter Parker Spider-Man, and then you've got the Awesome Hulk and the Incredible Hulk. So a neat spinning of, and then this is going to be broken off into little arcs that are going to be just all those characters I just described. So sounds kind of neat. I will admit to being pretty damned gun-shy about events, because we just haven't had a good one. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in the Geek Easy. But is this going to give us the goods, or is it going to be a stinker? Todd, what do you think?
I mean, DC did this. I mean, in the beginning, because they created sidekicks. Marvel never created sidekicks, so it made sense for Marvel that they could have characters, kind of be under the shadow and then come out of the shadow of those heroes and become their own thing. And then you had new sidekicks come on. So you had created new characters, like Robin became Nightwing, but then there was another Robin. You didn't have Robin taking over for Batman unless it was just temporary. It wasn't like they were replaced, which I appreciated, because then you had, like we said, I think having characters with new origins and new things being awesome versus just, it's another guy putting on the Captain America costume, calling himself Captain America. That's not very interesting to me. So the one that really stands out to me that seems just, I think, could use some help is the Captain America to what's his name? Sam.
Cap Falk? Yeah, Sam.
Because I thought America, that woman, that girl, that Hispanic character, I thought she was going to be that person, which I thought was fine.
I was going to say, is that America Ferrera? No, but that's an actress.
I think it's her name. Is her name America? What is her name, anyways? Miss America?
I can't remember, because I'm just not that familiar with the character.
Yeah.
Well, what's more interesting still is, within the context of Empire, they're really making it sound like Sam Wilson is walking away from being Captain America, but that could just be a stunt part of it that's not going to stick. So who's to say?
Yeah, her name is Miss America.
Miss America.
She is her name is Madeline Joyce, so that's an interesting name. But yeah, she's supposed to have a Hispanic background. But yeah, it just seems weird that they would pick, or I thought they were going to get away from that. I think he should still be. He was a character before this. It's kind of silly that he can't still be Falcon. I think he should be Falcon, because that's what his base is. He's a character. He's not a new character. He's been around for 30 plus years.
40.
5. Yeah, so to me, that's just silly. That's kind of like saying we don't care enough about Falcon to make him interesting that we have to now make him Captain America.
Right.
Junior, or whatever they want to call him. Yeah.
So I don't know. So this looks like a series of one-shots or an interconnected story. I'm still trying to glean, because it looks like every issue features a different pairing of characters new and old. So, yeah, how does it all connect?
I don't know. I like it. I like the idea of them talking and keeping the heritage plus the new. I'm totally cool with that.
So, well, good. Well, maybe we will end up reading this one after all. We'll see. I'll kind of keep my eye on this to see about the buzz, and if the buzz is good, maybe I'll snatch it up. We'll see what happens. And
I'm perfectly fine with it not being an event, just being, an introduction of characters, in a new way. That's fine.
Right. So, well, good. Well, I look forward to learning a little bit more about it. So, all right. Well, we slide into the potpourri section of the news. Todd, what's this all about?
Okay, so this is a little bit more in my wheelhouse, and Charlie, this is going to be completely off your radar.
All right, tell me about it.
Although you could surprise me. As a young boy, I was not a big reader of books, but I was into comic books, things like that. So I had a friend of the family who really admired him, smart guy, and he was into a series of books called Xanth, and I'm like, because he liked it so much, I'm like, well, I want to be cool like him and read this book series too. So that's what got me into the series called Xanth. And they're talking about making now the Xanth series, which this series has been around since the 70s, into a movie and TV series, something like that. Piers Anthony is the writer. And the fun thing about Xanth was it takes your standard, it's a land of magical creatures, things like that, but plays on them in two different ways. One, in this land, everyone has a magical power. If they do not showcase a magical power, they are banished to the land without power. Basically, it's called the mundanes, so they're mundane people. So that is one thing. And the other part is they love puns. So puns are all throughout the series. Like there's an island called the Isle of View. If you say it faster, it's I love you. They have
Aww.
Yeah, they have a shoe tree. Shoes grow on trees. So it's very punny, but it's fun. But they also have adult elements. I mean, romance, things like that. Loved it. And the first book is all about this character named Bink. He's trying to find his powers. He's worried about, will he get them? And just follows him on his journey. Really love this series. I read, think the first 14 books, and they just kept on coming. So I kind of had to step away because it's not like it's the same characters. They go on in full, in generations. Potentially you had characters you loved in the first book who are now 100 years old or dead later on. So it wasn't just going back to the same characters, but they referenced the history and things. So I really love that series. But they are now going to make it apparently they're going to develop it and make it into either a movie or a TV series. When I hear about these things, unfortunately, there's always a 50% chance that they don't work, which is fine. But I would love to see it come out. It would be awesome. And it's just part of my youth. It's like, oh wow, I never thought the day that I would see, kind of like Marvel Comics. You never thought Marvel Comics would be on the big screen, looking cool. This is one of those things I never thought as a kid that it could ever do and bring it to life in a quality way. And I hope they nail this. So.
Right. Well, that's cool, and I, that this is honest to God not my scene.
No, not at all.
I don't do orcs and goblins and stuff, and Lord of the Rings is not for me. Sorry, but you know what? I strive to be a fanboy who can give appreciation to other fanboys and not crap all over something that someone loves. I try. God knows I'm not always successful, but you know what? If this is your thing, if this enhances your nerd boner, enhance on. That's totally fine. Yeah. It's good stuff.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that with fantasy, there's not been a good comedic fantasy series, so maybe this potentially could be the one that worked, because they had other movies like, what was it, Her Majesty or something like that. I can't remember that one movie with Danny. I can't remember. It was a stupid movie. It was dumb. They had another one about guys doing cosplay, and they actually conjured a demon. So there's not many comedic fantasy movies, so hopefully this would nail it.
Indeed. Well, we shall see. What's this? This is pre-production, or do we have a date for this?
It says it's currently in development, so that means it's probably nowhere near. They're probably looking at scripts and looking at who's going to be the producer and those type of things, to actually get this off the ground. Slow
rolling. So look for it in the next 1 to 2 years.
Or 12. Who knows? Yeah.
Or 12. Right. Exactly right. So, all right. Well, gosh, that's about a wrap, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I guess that would be a wrap, but I'm hearing the distant tones of Christopher Cross. He's sailing his way into the Geek Easy. Todd, I think we should follow him. Let's pop into the Geek Easy. It's 12 o'clock somewhere, so it's time for a beverage, and we'll have a little chit-chat about what we're geeking out about. So let's go.
This is Yacht Rock. Smooth rock classics from the 70s and 80s. Yacht Rock. Album out now.
We are in the Geek Easy. I'm having my 7 and 7. That's my grandmother's drink, by the way. So props to Arden Carden of St. Clair Shores, Michigan. Christopher Cross is singing to us, and we're going to talk a little bit about what we are geeking out about this week. Todd, you are up.
Yes. So for me, 2 items. I am trying to watch more movies. I am not good at it. I get easily distracted by everything else under the sun: comic books, video games, internet chit-chat, trailers. So, rebuilding a computer so I can put a sound card on, so my voice sounds better. But I watched a movie I had wanted to. I heard good things about, and actually the director had been. This was his first big movie he had made, and I was a big fan of him from the Totally Rad Show days, Dan Trachtenberg. Well, he made 10 Cloverfield Lane. It's a J.J. Abrams produced series. Cloverfield was the first movie about the monster that invades a big city, and it's seen from it's like a found footage type movie, I think.
Yeah.
Is what they did. So
it was fun. I've watched it a couple times.
And I never saw it, but I heard it was pretty cool and different. So I'm like, cool, I will watch this movie, because when I saw the trailer for it, you might remember, it's John Goodman being kind of creepy. Girl she's kidnapped. She wakes up basically in a bunker and told, don't go outside. That's the premise. So I'm like, okay, well, there's got to be something to this. Saw it, really enjoyed it. It definitely starts off, like I said, girl, looks like she's just kidnapped by a creeper, played by John Goodman, in a really good turn of a role with him. The girl is she's told that the world is ending. You have to stay down here to survive. So there's a lot of plot twists within this. It's not what you think at first, but it's not exactly how you think it's going to end either as you're in it. So even once you get the first twist, you're like, okay, where are we going next? And then it definitely takes a few more twists down the road. I enjoyed it a lot. It definitely did not end up where I thought it would, but it definitely opens up the possibility of. I've heard there potentially might be a third movie in the series. So
I thought it was already on the docket. I thought I saw it.
Maybe it is. Yeah, maybe it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we saw this one. This was not a Taco Tuesday.
Oh.
But it was at the Second Run Theater, which we don't go to frequently. But yeah, I enjoyed it very much. It's certainly not any kind of high art. I think the star is Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who was in. She was the object of affection in the Scott Pilgrim movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Definitely.
And John Goodman, who continues to reinvent himself as an actor. I mean, he's skinny, he's fat. He is the white Oprah, white male Oprah. He's skinny, he's fat. He's skinny, he's fat. So I liked it. It was a nail biter. Kept you guessing as to what he was really up to. So yeah, I don't want to spoil a lot. So if you haven't seen it, I would say go see it without a doubt.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it either, but I think it's got enough to it that it's not necessary. It will definitely defy your expectations. So definitely check that out. Other than that, got a new game on the Switch to play now that I'm done with Zelda. It's called Monster Boy: The Dragon's Trap. This is definitely, we're in the age of, in video games, the retro remake, the reboot, whatever you want to call it, the remaster, where you take something that was beloved and you put a fresh coat of paint on it and make it different. And that's exactly what they do with this game. This game actually came out originally in the late 80s, when it was the old 8-bit style. And what they've done is, just like Episode 7, they basically took the original property and gave it new life. And they made an art style that makes it look like a Saturday morning cartoon. It's beautiful. And they have a really cool mode that they made, Charlie, where you can hit a button and have the style go back to the original 8-bit. So it's kind of neat.
Ooh!
Yeah.
That's fun. That reminds me in Lego Dimension, that's one of the red bricks that you grab, is that when you activate it, it makes everything the 8-bit music.
Yeah.
That comes from the Gamer Kid, the Midway Arcade pack, so that was fun.
Yeah.
This one got real old real fast. I did not have it on for long.
No, I don't go back. I look at it to see what they did, and it's amazing what they did, because they took the basics and then they added more to it. Like, you would have been very barren landscape. Now they added like a statue and different things. And
right.
The art style is beautiful. Absolutely love it. But the premise of Monster Boy is you gain abilities and you change. So you could start off as being just a regular hero. Then you turn into like a dragon who can shoot fire. Then you could turn into this character who can do these special abilities. You get new armor. You get new power-ups and things like that. And it's definitely a hard game. Back in the day, I played these games and I got really good at them because that's all I had to do when I was a kid. I played games, things like that. But now my skills have definitely fallen down the crap hole because games have gotten a little bit easier, actually. So, but it's fun. It's $20 on the Switch. Really enjoy it. It's also on PS4, other systems as well. Very fun. So if you're looking for something different to play on your Switch and you like beautifully animated games, check out Monster Boy: The Dragon's Trap.
Okay. Oh, I thought Monster Boy and the Dragon's Trap are two different things.
Nope.
So sorry about that.
That's the title.
Oh, gotcha. Ooh, very neat. Well, a couple of things. I've already we've talked about Secret Empire already because when we were talking about that Generations Zero issue dropped this week. I subscribed to it a couple of weeks ago. Hopefully, in enough time to get the Zero issue in the mail. Other than that, if issue number 1 shows up instead, I'll just go back to Argos and grab the Zero issue. But I subscribed to this. I subscribed to a new Spider-Man title. Todd, I broke the rule that you said just follow one Spider-Man title. Because we've got Peter Parker Spider-Man, Miles Morales. There's also Silk. There's also Spider-Gwen, which I read for a while and dropped because it wasn't a right fit for me because it's written for teenage girls and I just wasn't enjoying it. Deadpool Spider-Man, so there's a lot of Spider-Man titles. And like you and I had gone back and forth about, it's proliferating in the same way that the X-Men did in the 90s, where there's a million of them and you could read a million of them and spend a bunch of money. Things are so much more expensive now than they were back then. So it's that much more of a commitment to go out and spend, $12 or $15 or $20 a month collecting, all these different books. So you're right. You said, pick one. I picked The Amazing Spider-Man. I followed that since we were on volume 4 right now, and I have all of volume 4. I have all of volume 3, and I'm committed to it. But with the Clone Conspiracy, which was the first miniseries I ever subscribed to, they're bringing back the Ben Reilly character, but you're not sure if they're bringing him back as a hero or a villain.
Ooh.
Which I found kind of compelling.
Is that a dun moment?
I don't know. It was a dun moment when he was revealed in the Clone Conspiracy. You and I were both. I read all of it. I know you read part of it, or at least you're aware of the twist.
Yes.
That it was revealed that he was the mastermind of the Clone Conspiracy. He was the Jackal, the Anubis Jackal. It was just a dude wearing an Anubis mask, and he thought, it's just Miles Warren again, but it was Ben Reilly. Well, he ended up escaping that series, and now he's going off to do his own thing, but you don't know if he's a hero or a villain. The first issue of that drops next week, so I'll be getting that in the mail. So I'm expecting both of these. I'm also subscribed in June to another Peter Parker series. It's a revival of Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man, which in name only, I'm excited about. It also has a different tone. Instead of the globe-trotting Spider-Man, it's going to be your classic New York-based Peter Parker getting into New York-based adventures. So you've got the new breed, which is globe-trotting Spider-Man, and you've got the old breed, the Peter Parker friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. So I'm interested in that, but again, it's more subscriptions than I've had, since I was a kid and I was getting all the Spider-Man titles because I was very FOMO about Spider-Man back in the day. Had to have my fingers in all those pies, and Todd had the same problem.
Oh, X-Men problems.
Yeah, but what's nice about modern subscription series as opposed to the old days where you had to write a letter or make a phone call to stop something or change something. Now with the Marvel subscription service, which is fulfilled by Midtown Comics, which is I believe the largest comic provider in the country, is that you can hop on a chat and say, dump my issues of this over to that, or please refund me back and send me my money, and it happens like that. So the modern age has given us the ability to very easily shift around what you're following. So if all of these are terrible, I just dump them back onto Amazing Spider-Man because I know I'm going to continue to follow that. I have high hopes. We'll see. I'm hoping Secret Empire will be great because I'm hoping it's something I can get April to follow with me because April loves S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra. That's kind of what she digs, but I've never gotten her to glom on to reading a series. So my hope is that this will bring her over to it, but we'll find out. So I'm hopeful, but what's nice is that, my eyes are kind of open wide and it's easier to switch up. So speaking of things that are new and different in the world of technology, Voodoo, which is the digital service for Walmart, which I know feels kind of dirty every time you use it because it's Walmart. But anyway, it's where all my digital movies have ended up over the last 3 or 4 years that I've been doing digital movies. You buy a copy, it's got a code, you redeem it, and then basically the disc goes on the shelf and you just watch the digital copy whenever you want to see it. Well, within the last few months, they have a service which you can take your existing discs, pop them in your computer, and then through this app, either on your computer, you can even do it on your phone, though I've not gotten that to work. Basically, you pay a couple of bucks, and your DVD is now popped onto your Vudu service. So we decided to try this with all of the Harry Potter movies. So all 8 movies, I went through and I paid a couple of bucks for each. So for the cost of that, now all the Harry Potter movies are dumped onto my Vudu. So I have not had a Harry Potter watch through in recent memory, because 8 movies, 8 long 2.5-hour movies each. I mean, it's a big commitment. So we've watched the first couple. I will never get over how awful the CGI is in that first movie. When Harry jumps, which sounds gross, the bathroom scene. What kind of CGI did he?
When Harry jumps on that thing. Oh yeah.
Yeah. But the ogre or the troll. Remember how Lysa got on you about that? I'd say us, but I knew the difference. But it's just I've never seen worse CGI in anything. But I think Azkaban, either Azkaban or the Chamber of Secrets, was my early favorite. But I get really fuzzy on the second half of the series. I can't keep track what happens when, or the last 2 movies are a total mystery to me.
Yeah.
The Horcruxes, and I just have no idea.
The long camping scene, just get drawn out into 2 movies.
I just don't. I mean, all I really remember is, man, that fight at the end was the bomb. It was really great. So April's having surgery next week. She's going to be off her feet for a bit. So we decided that we're gonna when we're home alone together, just hanging out on the couch, we're gonna finish this watch through. So, and because TV shows are starting to end, we don't have anything to watch. So we might watch one later today. I don't know. So I think we're on 4, which is the Order of the Phoenix or the Goblet, or it's one of those 2. So anyway, Harry Potter is a timeless classic. It's very big in this family. My stepkids adore Harry Potter. I have 3 pets that have Harry Potter names, so Harry Potter is a big deal around here. So, but anyway, the whole disc to digital thing. Not that I want to pump up Walmart as a corporation, because most people hate them, but it's a great concept. I have loads of DVDs that for the price of a couple of bucks, if I actually wanted to get rid of them, I could pop them in, and then they're on my Vudu. I'm also sharing it with within my family. I'm sharing it with my kids. I share it with my mom and my brother, and so I've encouraged them, hey, you know what, be logged into my account if you want. If you got discs, pop them on there, and then we can all enjoy them.
I was going to ask, are you doing SD or HD?
I'm doing the SD, because it's the $2.
SD, Charlie, that's like putting... Oh god, dude! I know it's only $2, but quite honestly, SD. You might as well put your old tube TV out there, because they are so low quality.
The only I don't disagree with you, but my old laptop doesn't read Blu-rays, so I can't do it.
You don't have to do that. You can
the scanner thing hasn't worked for me, not once.
Do you put a credit card in it?
No, that's not it. It doesn't read them.
Mine had a problem where it was telling me it didn't work, and then I put a credit card in. And once I did that, it worked. You can't use PayPal.
Okay.
It won't work. I tried that it didn't work.
Okay, so I'll go back to the app and play with it today.
Yeah, because that's what I did, because I got the Matrix free. So I had made it HD.
Okay. I'll go back. Yeah. That's fair. Good tip. Good pro tip there, anybody who's listening. And while it may technically not be right to share your account with other people, whatever. I'm doing it within my family, so to me, that feels fine. But yeah, that way... Mom and my brother, if they have DVDs, they want to dump them on there, then we can all share. And it's the wave of the future. I mean, the physical media is kind of dying out. I think over the next 5 to 10 years, you're going to see less and less of it, to the point that, how big is the CD section at Best Buy anymore? It's one rack. And it's that way at Target too. And the discs will start to shrink down. So it'll just be pop culture goods. It'll in digital codes. That'll all be all that they'll sell anymore. So,
exactly.
For right or for wrong, that's what's happening. So you might as well get on board.
Oh, I mean, digital discs will exist for probably forever, just like vinyl exists forever. It's just in a diminished format. You won't get and guess what? The prices will get a lot more expensive if you want a disc. It'll be like $30 to $40 for a disc rather than the $10, because guess what? They're making less, so they cost more to make.
Right. Yeah, so it's supply and demand. Yep. So as there's less demand, then the cost will go up.
Yeah, and people are worried about, well, what if I lose it? Well, guess what? If your power goes out, you can't watch movies. If the internet breaks down, the world is going to be in a very bad place. And quite honestly, I've never lost my internet that frequently that I've been like, wow, I never can watch what I want to watch because the internet's down.
Right, and you know what? Frankly, the resale market for discs is so crappy that the discs that I have, I'll keep anyway, so that if the internet was down and we wanted to watch something, I'll pop in a disc of some kind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, and even if not, go outside, do something else, talk to a family member, do something.
Yeah, and rentals are so cheap on Amazon these days. It's $3 to rent a movie and not own a disc. And guess what? I've talked about this. I don't want to rewatch a lot of movies. A lot of people, I bet, would look at their library and say, I watched that movie once, but I had to own it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a handful of movies that I will watch once a year. Like Blazing Saddles, got to watch it once a year. The Star Wars movies, got to have them because I watch them often. But I'm not Marvel movies a rewatch, or if a sequel is coming out, if you don't want to do a full rewatch, you'll watch those movies or whatever. So you're right. But the need for physical media just continues to dwindle. So this disc to digital thing is pretty neat. If you need help, reach out to us, and we will help you out because it's really quite cool. But yeah, I will play with that app later today and see if that helps.
Groovy. Awesome.
Good deal. All right, well, it looks like that's it for the Geek Easy. Tom, I was going to call you Tom. Tom, would you like to play a game? How do you feel, Tom? We're gonna get into this old chestnut. We're gonna play an old favorite. That is the name game.
My name is what? My name is my name is my name is my name is what? My name is.
So we're gonna play the name game. It's very simple. We pick a thing, and then the person who has to guess has 20 questions, 20 yes/no questions, to guess it. And on the 20th question, if they have not figured it out by then, they just guess, and they're either right or wrong. So, Charlie, we're going to do creatures this week as our topic. So it can be...
creatures.
Creatures could be robots as well. Kind of that just generic, like, non-human entities. Could be an alien, even. So,
all right.
Do you have one ready to go?
I have one ready to go, so you may ask away. And I'll keep track on our little sidebar of the numbers. So go right ahead.
Okay. Is this a movie-based creature?
It is not. That's a no.
Ooh. Is it a TV-based creature?
That is correct.
TV. Was this live action?
Yes.
Okay.
Not a cartoon. The show was live action.
Okay.
Not a cartoon.
Yeah. Okay. So it's. Would it be? Let's see. Was the show released after the year 2000?
Yes.
After the year 2000. Was this on a network? Like ABC, Fox, CBS?
Not a broadcast network, no.
Okay, so cable. Let's see. Was the genre sci-fi?
It was. Let's see. This is going to end up being too easy. I'm just afraid of it.
Let's see. Was this a robotic creature?
It is.
Oh, I think I know what this is, Charlie. You're too easy.
Sorry. You can't see it. You can't see it behind me, though.
Okay. Did these creatures turn on their creators?
They did.
Charlie. Was it
sorry.
the Cylons?
Yeah.
Yay. That was the easiest one I ever had.
Wow, less than 10. Less than 10.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Which means you're going to hit me with one that's sorry. I'm going to end up looking like a total piker.
Okay.
All right. So pop open the thing so you can do the counter, so I can know how many I got left.
Okay.
All right. So the creature, I'll probably end up following the same path as you. Is the creature in question from a movie?
Yes.
Okay. We got to keep up. Punch in the 1. There you go. Okay. Is the genre of this movie considered science fiction?
Yes. Yeah, sure.
Science fiction fantasy. The film in question, is it part of a series?
Yes.
Okay. Was this series produced predominantly after the year 2000?
No.
No. Okay. Was this series produced predominantly after the year 1980?
Yes.
Okay. Was the series set in or around outer space?
No.
Oh, okay. So land-based science fiction. Okay. Were the main characters in the film in question humans?
Yes.
Human characters post 1980s, not in space. And it's a creature to go with. Is the film in question take place in contemporary times based on when it came out?
Yes.
Okay. So it took place in real life of science fiction. Is it a made film?
You got a little digital on me. Can you repeat that?
Oh, sorry. Is it an American-made film? As in
Yes.
set in America. Okay.
Yes.
Set in America.
USA.
America, USA. America, blank, yeah. See, I'm already learning to edit myself. Wow. Is this science fiction film considered to be also comedic in nature?
Okay, you broke up again.
Or is it, oh my goodness!
Yes.
Would you say this film was a sci-fi comedy?
No.
No. Serious sci-fi. Boy. 1980s. Any musical elements to this?
No.
Not music, so 19. Let's see here. Was the film produced prior to 1990? So it's truly an 80s kind of film.
Yes.
Definitely an 80s film. Okay. Boy, I'm not doing good. I'm floating. So an 80s film, science fiction. Was there a lot of? Was it an action sci-fi or kind of a thought piece sci-fi?
I'd say more on the action side.
Oh, you know what? I didn't ask a yes/no question. Was it an action film? You said yes. Okay. Okay. Was the character in question the villain?
Yes. And Charlie, I wanna revise when you said sci-fi, so I'll say it's kind of a blend of sci-fi.
Blend of sci-fi. I don't know if I know what that means.
Call it a mixed genre
Mixed genre.
with sci-fi elements.
Okay. I don't know if that throws me off the mark of what I think it is. So, is the villain in question a robot android kind of individual?
No.
Ooh, goodness. But it's science fiction based on Earth in the 1980s contemporary time frame. Oh! Yes, I'm bouncing around. Not the Terminator, not Buckaroo Banzai, not like Enemy Mine because it's set in the future and in space. Crud! Obviously not Star Wars. Obviously not Star Trek. Man! Was this film considered a box office success?
No.
As in, oh, it was a bomb-a-rooney.
I assume. I mean,
You didn't research it, but your gut tells you not so much. Son of a gun! I got no help here. Was this film adapted in comic book form?
I don't think so.
That you don't know? You
I don't
know?
think so.
You don't think so? It's a no. Dude, I don't know. I'm gonna have to throw in the towel.
You sure? Not gonna guess.
No. I don't even have a guess.
Okay, you're gonna kick yourself, or maybe you're gonna kick me.
Can't do it, it's the internet.
The answer is Chud, and the Chud are the creatures. And you brought that movie up not that long ago, so.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. It has sci-fi elements, but it's really more of a film.
Yeah.
Contemporary, set in New York. Oh man, damn!
Had a
Good
sequel.
and,
there was a Chud too. Yeah.
Right, and mine was such a softball. So you got my goat this time around. Well done.
My goodness, yes. That's
well
one of 20
done.
questions. Sometimes you win.
Got it.
Sometimes you lose.
That's okay. All right. Well, believe it or not, that is it. I don't know. Ty, you got anything else?
No, I think that's good. Our lady Lysa was gone this week. She had a lunch date she needed to attend to, so hopefully we will have her back next week.
Without a doubt. Well, friends, as always, thanks for joining us. We are a cannibalistic underground dweller escapee, friend to the Secret Friends Unite Facebook community and podcast page. Find us over on Twitter at Secret Friends U. Send us a Twitter bomb, a twiddle twaddle, and we'll Twitter twaddle you back. Send us a note over at secretfriendsunite@gmail.com with comments, questions, concerns, things of that nature, and we will talk about you for good or for bad on the podcast. Also visit us over on YouTube if you want to see our ugly mugs. They are there for you every time we publish a show. Always having a good time. I'm going to tell you that sharing is caring, and to keep on trucking.
Be the hero, not the villain.
In a truck. Secret Friends Unite!